Good morning, everyone. Welcome to 2025 AI Power Rankings across domains. My name is Your Name, and today I'll walk you through the most influential AI models of 2025, how they're reshaping industries, and what decision makers should do next. Let's dive in. We've organized today's journey into 6 domains: coding, science, finance, education, creativity, and the future. Each section has real benchmarks, real costs, and real trade-offs. By the end, you'll have a portfolio playbook, not just a leaderboard. Zooming out, 2025 is defined by a clear duopoly. 11 of the top 20 models come from the United States, 9 from China. Europe and the rest are noticeably absent from the frontier. Yet 7 open source models are quietly lowering costs and fueling grassroots innovation. The battlefield is no longer just who's biggest, but who's cheapest, fastest, and safest. Here are the 10 highest impact models ranked by composite benchmark scores. OpenAI's GPT 4.5 still owns generality and reasoning. Anthropic's Claude 3.7 is the code and safety specialist. Google's Gemini 2.5 Pro gives you multimodal depth and a 1 million token context. And DeepSeek R1 delivers open-weight reasoning at 1/27th the cost. Remember these prices. We'll quote them later. The duopoly is stable, but openness is disruptive. Models like Llama 3, Falcon 180B, and Qwen 2.5 Max push parameter counts from 7 billion to 180 billion, while API prices collapse from $5 to 50 cents per million tokens. Bottom line, if you're not pricing open source into your total cost of ownership models, you're overpaying. Let's talk code. Benchmarks like Human Eval and SuiBench show US models lead in raw scores, but Chinese models cost 1/3 per token. That's huge when you're running thousands of CI/CD pipelines every night. Claude 3.7 Sonnet hits 91.2% pass at 1 on multi-file refactoring. GPT 4.5 and DeepSeek R1 tie at roughly 89% for automated debugging. And Qwen 2.5 Max gives you 88% at budget price. Accuracy matters, but cost per deploy matters more. Context is king. Gemini 2.5 Pro's 1 million token window swallows entire codebases. Speed and cost? iQOO 4.5 is twice as fast at 30% of the price. Perfect for real-time pair programming. Silicon optimization. DeepSeek R1 on Huawei Ascend shows 3 times inference acceleration, proof that clever chips can beat brute scale. Switching domains. AI is now the cheapest postdoc you'll ever hire. Models ingest decades of literature, generate hypotheses, and even cite 2025 papers when you plug in retrieval-augmented generation. GPT 4.5 and Gemini 2.5 Pro tie at 87% on graduate-level science suites. DeepSeek R1 ranks third, but its 557-hour training reproducibility and open weights let any lab fine-tune for niche simulations. Transparency is becoming a scientific asset. Protein folding. DeepMind's Gopher 2 predicted 94% accurate contact maps. Catalyst search. Alibaba's QuenSem cut discovery time by 40%. Climate modeling. Gemini ingested 30 years of IPCC reports, generated 2030 emission scenarios, later validated by human researchers. AI isn't replacing scientists, it's accelerating them. In finance, hallucination isn't an academic problem, it's a lawsuit. Models now compete on risk, compliance, and forecasting. Claude 3.7 tops 10K extraction in ESG sentiment with under 2% hallucination thanks to constitutional AI. Once in 4 exploits Baidu's search indices to outperform on Chinese macro forecasts. DeepSeek R1 lets mid-size funds build custom equity factor models without million-dollar GPU budgets. Democratization is the new disruption. Look at these per 1,000 token prices. GPT 4.5 costs 8 cents, DeepSeek R1 costs 0.3 cents, and a fine-tuned Llama 3 on-prem costs less than 0.1 cent. If you have data sovereignty needs, open source isn't ideology, it's arithmetic. Moving to human-centric domains, education needs personalization at scale. Healthcare needs documentation without burnout. GPT 4.5 and Gemini 2.5 craft adaptive curricula in real time. Qwen 2.5 Max delivers multilingual tutoring across Southeast Asia at half the cost. Claude's 200K token context digests entire patient records, producing summaries that pass clinician review 92% of the time and cut paperwork by 35%. AI is finally reducing clicks, not creating them. But speed must negotiate with safety. FDA-compliant models abstain from diagnosis if confidence is below 95%. Chinese models integrate provincial drug formularies to prevent contraindications. And regional laws, EU AI Act, China's interim measures, dictate which model you can legally deploy. Choose models the way you choose cloud regions. Compliance first. Let's shift to creativity. Multimodal storytelling is no longer a gimmick. It's the new studio system. Gemini 2.5 Pro and Wenzhen 4 generate 4K video storyboards from a single text prompt with character consistency. ByteDance's Daobao 1.5 Pro integrates with CapCut, letting creators script and B-roll vertical videos in under a minute. And open-source combos like Stable Cascade plus Llama 3 dominate manga and indie game assets. Agility now trumps scale in content markets. Daily active user numbers. Quark AI Assistant leads at 33.7 million, utility first wins. DeepSeek app claims 10.3 million, Doubao 9.97 million. Emotion-first apps like Xingye and Malbox poll 4.86 million monthly downloads. Strong niche engagement. Consumers vote with thumbprints, not benchmarks. So what's next? Agentic AI, 10 million token context, and edge inference are exiting the lab. Agentic workflows now sustain 30-hour autonomous sessions. SWE Agent Bench preview models already scores 74.5% on real-world software tasks. Vatex Next and Holistic Video 5M will replace static image leaderboards with multimodal video understanding. The goalposts are moving. Plan your benchmarks accordingly. 3 closing rules for decision makers. 1. Assess holistically. Use case fit, total cost of ownership, data privacy, safety. 2. Blend your portfolio. Frontier APIs for breakthroughs, fine-tuned mid-tiers for routines, open weights for differentiators. 3. Plan for agility. Revisit your AI strategy quarterly. The frontier is accelerating, not stabilizing. Thank you for your time. I'm happy to take questions on pricing, compliance, or fine-tuning recipes. Let's build the next wave, responsibly, cheaply, and creatively.